Hey, I believe we're on, Scott.
Awesome.
We were talking a little preliminary. Scott has been going without
Don't
the
don't.
internet. Oh, don't tell about that. Okay, I
Yeah,
won't.
yeah. No, because of stuff.
Cause of yeah, there's
Talk.
just enough reason to say let's not talk about that. So I've
Yeah. No. No.
watched
No. Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
Night Manager. Have you seen all of the Night Manager? That movie or the
Yeah. I heard on my podcast. What'd you think about it?
Well, I liked it, uh, but it was, I guess you could say, flawed for a couple of reasons. It had, for instance, his the things that ordinarily might be made difficult to do. They're pretty easy to do,
Yeah.
to get his secret information and all that. And you get
Yeah.
used to those kind of rhythms. But at the same time, I thought to myself, you're asking for something that is likely to bore you if they do it in the standard way. And so him being able to get the information easily says that the information was, that's just a point in the story. The story is, that he's in among them and he could be outed at any time. And as easily as he got the information, he could just as easily be being killed for finding it. I do like the constant conflict of him versus Corky. Corky is probably the best part of it for that. He's the guy that is his main, going to be his main trouble. Never believed
Yeah.
in him for a minute, and so that's the best character for the story's sake.
Yeah. There was some stuff that I thought was a little odd. The plan. I yeah. I mean, yeah, I liked it. I mean, I argued on the podcast. I said it was. I said I liked it. Um, I watched all of it. I thought it was pretty good. I was kind of surprised it sat there and I didn't watch it for a long time. It's definitely worth watching.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hugh Laurie. When I think about all these early appearances of him, he was in. He was the big idiot in Blackadder, and of course he's kind of a big idiot on Jeeves and Wooster. And I've never seen him
Yeah,
in House, where I imagine he's much more like this character in The Night Manager, very severe
I've,
and quick to, really snap your head off uh, if he doesn't like what you're doing. But
I've never seen House, but yeah, that's kind of what I.
but I couldn't get over how different his voice is. His voice is just God. It's great to listen to. He's got a whole different quality to the voice he uses in that movie versus Jeeves and Wooster,
Yeah,
his goofy voice.
yeah.
It makes me wonder if he could
Well,
even do
yeah,
his goofy voice now.
yeah. He was definitely a different character
Yeah.
in Jeeves and Wooster. He was yeah, yeah. It is kind of funny because he seems to be. Oh, hang on, Ellis.
Okay.
Hang on. I gotta get it. I gotta get a battery pack.
Okay.
I don't know why my charger is working down here, up here. Hang on, let me try and. Oh, because the thing fell out. I don't think my charging brick. Hang on just a second. I don't know. You may lose me for
Okay.
a second. Yeah,
Lost your visual. I can still hear you.
I'm, I'm having computer battery or
There you are. You're kind of back again.
with my. Hang on.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back. Let me see if this fixes it.
Okay. In terms of like trying to be entertaining while you were gone, it just shows you I've got no future in this. I haven't thought for a second about filling in the gap. It's just been like dead air. I was sitting there drawing away, and it's like, who cares? Makes me laugh.
I don't have my iPad with me, so I can't see if we got anybody watching anymore.
No, I don't think anybody is. I haven't seen anybody show up in the comments.
Oh, well. So today I got to work, and one of my employees sent me a text, and she goes, I'm going to be late. I've had a car wreck, and I don't think I'm going to be in. And I go, okay, well, just, I hope you're okay. Are you okay? Everything. Yeah, I flipped my car. I go, what? But it was just real nonchalant. She was just like, yeah, I think I may not be in today. And then she's like, oh, and I flipped it on the highway, man. She got
Dang.
flipped by somebody.
Clip?
And they basically did. Yeah.
Sent into a guardrail?
Well, no, they sent her into a skid. Well, she ended up against a guardrail. So it's rush hour traffic, I-35. She was passing somebody. And I don't know. I mean, I've tried to pass people before, and they're going slow, and then you go around them, and they speed up,
Mm-hmm.
Said she was passing them, and she got this little car. She said they sped up, and
They did the pit maneuver on her. They hit her. They clipped her.
Was it California stop or California pit maneuver or whatever they call it?
Yeah.
And she went into a skid. You're not supposed to flip, but she went into a skid. And her car is a little car, so it's got a small wheelbase. And she went to a skid and flipped right over, apparently. She said, I talked to her. And she said, I think I flipped at least one or two times, but I don't remember. I go, well, you probably flipped more than that if you don't remember. If you forget it, then it was bad.
I guess she's very lucky to be alive. If she threw that much force into whacking herself over and over like that, it's pretty easy to die of that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep, I agree. I'm glad she didn't die. She's a very nice girl that, everybody likes, and,
I got all through. Yeah,
like her,
everybody that we don't like, sure, we all secretly want them to die.
Well, not really.
No, I'm kidding.
I wanted to go a long ways away, but not that.
When someone we don't like does die, we think, did I really not like that person that badly? Because then it asks you to reassess just how dumb you may have been for not having a whole lot of having hostility toward them. Or that's been the case with me a couple of times. Learning that somebody as awful as a bully from your most sensitive period of your life, of like junior high, learning that some bully died of an awful disease. It's like you don't make plans to go dance on his grave. You just say, wow, that's weird. That guy's a part of my life. Yeah. And now he's gone, died at a very young age. Oh, I call him a bully. He was just one of those guys I considered one of the scary guys. He was kind of one of the ones that was ganged up, in junior high.
Well, yeah,
but
definitely. So you have read most of Alex the what's it called? The
Alex Raymond,
or
Alex. No, what is his name? Is it?
Alex
Yeah,
Raymond.
it is Alex Raymond. Alex Raymond's The Strange Death of Alex Raymond. Yeah. We had a friend, well, I guess we don't need to go into that. We are both able to read The Strange Death of
Well,
Alex Raymond. And
I ended up
what's that?
buying a
What's
copy,
that? You
Ellis.
have a real copy?
I ended up buying a copy.
Oh, you are buying a copy?
Well,
I've changed my
I ordered a copy.
I've changed my mind
Changed
about how
mine.
good. Are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. Did you want to say anything about Alex Raymond's The Strange Death? Go ahead.
Okay, so we got a preview copy, we'll call it that, from somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I read part of it. It was a digital file. And I liked it enough. And it just so happened that day I got a card, a gift card for an online retailer. And so I used a fair chunk about it on buying the book because I thought what I read I really liked.
Well,
and then you said,
yeah,
I read about half of it and you didn't like it.
Yeah, I've decided that skim was totally misleading in terms of like how much I was going to enjoy that and how much it was going to be doing a deep dive about stuff that I found really interesting, done in an interesting way. And I have now decided, no, I find it kind of annoying, but it is still a special kind of effort, and it's also, like I say, it's a special tribute to using what he used to do Cerebus, all that work, that amazing amount of work he did, and I'm just being impressed by anybody that has that much work to show at the end of the day. Doug TeNapel is the same way. He's just you've got an inventory, you've got a methodology, you have a process versus a goal, and that having a process, things yield to you. You're just irresistible when you stick with your process. And the book he was doing simultaneously and an offshoot from The Strange Death of Alex Raymond was Glamour Puss, of course, which really, I don't think, resonated with a lot of the typical people that had been his fans from Cerebus. And but he didn't care, he wanted to do it. And he produced a lot of that. And offshooting from that, he's doing the Strange Death, which is, by the way, I got to say, the artwork is great. This is a guy that is, worships at the altar of one of the greatest line artists of all time, Alex Raymond. And he's gone to school on how to best make himself able to do that. And that's what I was enjoying early, was his own deep dives on just how Alex Raymond did his brush work. And so, that was my early reaction, why I was liking it, just skimming closely about 2 pages. But now it seems like it's all about what he calls the metaphysics of this time period and this kind of area of the art world and the miscellaneous, the whole zeitgeist of the time, which will include the idea of going from people that are faithful in marriage to being adulterers. And he's when he got into Margaret Mitchell and Gone with the Wind and her early stage experience, trying to be a bad girl and stuff like that, it was like, it's like, okay, man, this is all right. It's hard to read. It's panels over panels.
Yeah.
It's you've got to kind of start tracking it and kind of check yourself to make sure you're reading it in the right order. You know,
Yep.
it just became less and less the farther I got into it. And right now I'm poised to get into the part where he has done a blue color hold on all the black line art, and I hate that. And so now I'm, you know, if I finish it, I will be finishing it over an art decision that he's made, which I really don't care for, you know. But you know, I'm going to finish it now. I'm less than 100 pages away from finishing it. So, what about you? Tell me all about why you like it different than I do.
Why I bought it?
Yeah. Why'd you buy
Well,
it?
I think um, I like some of the stuff where he talked about. He really went to a deep dive on the style and I enjoyed that part of it. I didn't get very far into that. I stopped because I first off I don't like reading books online
Mm-hmm.
or
On
digitally
screen.
at all. Absolutely can't. I do a lot because it's hard to get
Mm-hmm.
stuff sometimes, but that's the preferred method. So at a certain point, I just decided, you know what, I'm just
Just
gonna
gonna
buy
buy it.
this. I've got this money, yeah, and so I'm gonna buy
No,
it.
so there you go.
This,
You got two
you
out of three
know,
people that have bought this book for the sake of Dave Sims. So even though I'm not going to buy it
well,
and
I'm
going to
not
read
gonna say
it, it doesn't matter. My pirating ways should not be. I'm previewing it.
I enjoyed what I read enough
Mm-hmm.
to pick it up. So you know the I mean it reminded me honestly. You know what it reminded me
What?
of, but not. It reminded me of From Hell.
A Night in
Just
Hell?
kind of a very dense, very maybe challenging read. Yeah.
Did
Do
you
what?
say A Night in Hell?
Oh, From Hell by Alan Moore.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought you said. But go ahead.
Have you read From Hell? Have you read
From
From
Hell.
Hell?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's a lot like that. It's kind of weird and wanders around but I think this is
Oh
better
yeah.
drawn.
Well, I say I
But
don't like this because it's so unconventional and hard to piece together for yourself. It's it's got a chance of being one of those experiences once I go to the painful ingestion of all of it that what I do in terms of like processing and putting it all together might make it one of the most unique things I've ever taken in, as an entertainment. That sort of thing happens. That's the sort of thing maybe that makes that one of those things you return to versus something that's like, I read that once, don't need to read it again. This is a thing that obviously, if you think it's worthwhile, you're probably going to read it a couple of times, But I have a feeling
oh
it's not going to be that.
yeah, that's my thought. It's I think it's something you probably will read multiple times if you enjoy it
Right.
for sure. And and like I said, my thing also is I I couldn't get through it if I tried to read the whole thing digitally. I don't think, and I like them of it to be like, okay, I'll pick up the hard copy.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and our friend has his name in the Kickstarter credit. That's kind of fun.
Yep.
And it's kind of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of cool.
It's kind of like, hey, I know that guy.
Absolutely. Yeah. I I I got a contract for my comic book yesterday.
Oh, right. That's cool. I mean, you were just operating as a kind of like a good faith kind of thing, tearing along with it.
Yeah. Yep. So now it's like, oh, okay, this is
better.
a good thing. Yeah, yeah. One of those deals where you go, you get done, you're like, oh, I got a lot of time in there,
Well, that's cool having a lot of time just in general. I mean, that's wealth right there, having a lot of time.
No. I had a lot of time in it,
Oh
you
yeah.
know. But anyway, so that's I asked there was one thing that was in there that kind of bugged me because we'd have to turn in the we'd have to have everything turned in 90 days from the time uh, of the contract was
Hmm.
signed, and that's all well good, but issue 4 is not colored. So I emailed the editor or the writer, and I was like, "You think issue 4 is going to be done by the just start being
Oh,
in
you
contempt of the contract, you know?"
are you talking about the book Heaven's
Yeah,
Rejects? Oh, I thought you were talking about one of those little side things you'd
yeah.
gotten involved with, and you finally got a contract for it.
No. I finally got no. Well, that's yeah. I've got a couple of side things
Well,
going
that's
on
what
right
I
now,
was
but
thinking you
yeah.
were referring to. You're talking about having finally
Oh no,
received a contract for the thing
no.
that you devoted, Gad, 2 years to.
But, yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah. Up until now, I was definitely like would you call it a good faith
Yeah, you
or a
were
good?
operating on good faith for that one too. Yeah, I forget about that. Yeah.
No. Well, when I first did it, I was told we needed the first issue, and then we did the first issue, and it's like, yeah, we need to see the first 2 issues, and then we did 2 issues, and it was like, well, they really want the whole thing now, and I'm like, what?
I'm glad you got that in
And so I
writing
and
now.
and
That's good.
oh yeah, that is good. Anyway, so that was nice. Sign it and send it to them, I guess. You know,
Yeah.
but yeah, you read that stuff like, maybe if I ask for 5% more, and it does like Walking Dead numbers, I'll really be
Yeah.
rich. Or something. It's funny. I mean, you get to you look at those numbers, and you're just like, oh, I should ask for 2% more.
I was talking to you Friday about Richard Dreyfuss, and now I've watched a couple things that just happened to come up about Richard Dreyfuss, and of course now the algorithm tells me that I'm just
Yeah.
completely absorbed by Richard Dreyfuss, and it's thrown me a couple other, several other things about Richard Dreyfuss. But one of the things on that stuff I did see about him, he was talking about, uh, American Graffiti, and he revealed that
Yeah.
that movie has made him about as much money as any project he's been involved with, because apparently, as some sort of good guy thing, this just shows you how different George Lucas is, because here he is massively wealthy, but it just didn't occur to him not to share the wealth back in that day with those actors, and he gave
Yeah.
them all like points, and I think it was only like 1 point
Yeah.
or something like that. And so he gave these just to actors.
Yeah.
He just wanted them to. It was a thank you, and he says that has made him more money than just about any other thing he's ever, you know, done professionally.
Well, I read a biography of George Lucas one time on a plane, and it was saying that in Hollywood there was a tradition among directors that they would exchange points for their
Huh.
films. And 1 point on a film can be
Oh
quite a
yeah,
bit of money. I mean, it's a big deal to get points
yeah.
on a film. And so when we're coming up and talking to them and wanting to exchange points for these directors, got rid of them because apparently there's just like a traditional thing that they just swap points I don't know if it was almost as a way of like, well, if a movie bad, maybe yours will do good and I'll make some money or whatever. But apparently on Star Wars, he kept all his and didn't swap them with anybody. And I don't know how that worked. I don't know if the actors get them or what. But apparently his decision to do that and kind of buck the tradition of Hollywood really made him a lot of money and a lot of enemies. You know. But
Well, yeah, he was just in a position at that point to do it. I think so many people had they'd kind of crowded him into a position where he had to. Oh, I don't know my real story on that. I'd start talking and making stuff up. I think I know. I think I know a little bit about him, but probably don't. Well, what else have I got written down here? We both
on a plane.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I just said I read a book about George Lucas on a plane. So.
Yeah, well, you're more of an expert than me. I guess I haven't ever read a real book about him. Hey, have you ever, I'm going to ask you about, have you ever done the exercise they call, doing a plank?
Yes.
Those are harder than I thought they were. I looked at people doing them and I said, what a waste of time. And then I tried to do one for a minute. And, I can do one, but I am vibrating and trembling at the end of it. I tell you, they're hard to do.
Yes.
I've been doing them.
Yeah, my wife does like 30 seconds every night, I think. 30 or a minute. She may do a minute.
Yeah, I do it about a minute, and it's hard. And I'm just shocked that it was so hard. And, of course, it's like when you see on those shows, what was that thing Joe Rogan used to do, that dumb show? Well, he had, you'd have people hanging and the last one to drop off. And, people can't hang for much more than a minute, from a monkey bar,
Oh.
That's a lot of stress, and it starts to happen very quickly and just doesn't get any better, So yeah, that just hanging on, that's what you could call a plank exercise, is just hang on while you hold this position. And but I've been doing them, and it feels good to have your middle kind of tightening up. Well, whatever it does for you. I guess it's mainly all about your middle.
Yeah, it's supposed to tighten your ab muscles. That's what they say.
I'm watching a movie right now that's 1 hour and 6 minutes long. I Walked with a Zombie. I'm about 30 minutes into it. I've seen it before, of course, but
yeah,
it's making me laugh now that I could watch this and think that this nurse, who is the main protagonist, is acting at all rationally because she's taking this patient that they very quickly set up that they're going to try something radical with her to give her a kind of a shock treatment and see if they can cure her.
Yeah.
So they do that. It doesn't work. And I tell you, this movie at 1 hour, 6 minutes has got to move along. And so they just go right through that to where we understand that this woman really wants to help. That's the nurse. And so her next big plot is to see if voodoo doctors can help. And it just made me laugh how quickly it went to that point where she's taking this person she's responsible for, sneaking her out of the house and taking her out into the forest where she can introduce her to voodoo medicine. It just made me kind of laugh this time. It's like, wow, she's a go-getter, but I don't know if she's all that, but for the sake of the story, it's moving right along.
Yeah. Oh, no kidding.
So, the other.
Once you introduce do.
I bought got that book of Christopher Hart's on simplified anatomy to have a good close look at it.
Oh,
I looked at it, thought I was going to scan some of it, and then I said, you know what? I'm going to just see how much it costs to buy this. And then I found a used copy with cost under $6 to have it just mailed to me. So it's on its way. I just returned that one to the library. So it's got some cool stuff on muscles of the face. If you've ever been wondering about how am I going to get expressions more figured out, those simplifications of all the muscles running over your skull will, it's a big help to run those through your head a little bit in terms of what you can.
A book that has a bunch of photographic expressions in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's right. I haven't pulled it out in a while.
Yeah, I had a big book of expression once
What
too.
are the anatomy? Yes, right here. It's
You turned me onto that cartoonist kayfabe on Richard Corbin. That really kind of lit my fire on. I've got the essay started behind me. I've got it all outlined. I'm going to be doing a video of what I know about Corbin's color process. Look for that within a week because I'm really kind of got that pretty far along. I've done a lot of grabbed a lot of the files I'm going to be using. Oh yeah, what was that? That was
tag those guys. They'll appreciate it. They may send some traffic your way.
Oh yeah, the cartoonist kayfabe. Well, I just want to. They are a lot of fun to listen to on a lot of topics, but what they said about that kind of didn't rub me the wrong way. It just said, no, they don't quite get it, So I want to kind of like add to it because they're right to be impressed. They're very right to be impressed, but they just they had the wrong examples to be impressed about. So I'm going to clarify that.
Well,
why they should be impressed.
Do you need that book? I have that.
Which
book
one?
If you need to borrow it.
Oh, the one by Atkins.
The cartoon book that they.
Yeah, the one by Atkins.
Yeah.
John Richardson Atkins, I believe. Yeah, I had it a long time.
Yeah.
The book, that's just driving me crazy. Because I've got Richard Corbin's funny book, which is a great one for having a lot of great early Richard Corbin, the black and white stuff. But the one that I'm running into where it says they go into the process, I used to own it. It's called Flights into Fantasy. And it cost me $200 to get it back again. It drives me nuts, the stuff that I don't have that I used to have. But that's life. That's life. Oh, there's lots of stuff I had that I don't have anymore. I don't have half a brain, I think, right anymore nowadays. So it's like.
Yeah, I mean,
that's life. Yeah.
Part of life.
Yeah. I mean, how much
you acquire stuff.
That's right. I'm not going to be buried with that stuff.
Yep, none of us going to follow your hearse.
Yep.
Yeah,
tear pages out of the book and throw it in front of my hearse. Yep.
Exactly. Sprinkle it around like flowers at a wedding. Well, that's why, a friend of ours got into this dispute with his wife about his collection. And I made the comment to him that I would burn my collection in the yard before it came between me and my wife. Yeah. Which horrified, But I mean,
you're not a real collector, are you?
I know. I guess not. You're not a real husband, are you?
You can't let her do that to you.
Yeah. Well, no. This is the opposite.
Yeah.
When you, I mean, I'm, you know me. I'm. If you're in, you're in.
Yeah.
If you're not in, then don't be in. Which pretty much applies to everything in life, in my opinion.
Sure.
But you do it or don't.
I've been fascinated here. I always get these announcements, even though I just now subscribed for my first subscription on Locals. Guess who I subscribed to?
Who?
Doug. I gave him the $5 minimum to subscribe. And so now, I can't DM him anymore with Twitter, but now I've got a one way I could DM him if I felt like it anymore. So that's cool. But, Locals kind of fascinates me anyway, because Doug was having to take a big presence break off of it. And I've no idea how many subscriptions he's got. I can't find an easy way to figure out how many people he's got subscribed to him, but I paged through 10 pages of them trying to ascertain it, see if it would end. So I know that there's 36 per page. That's at least, before I stopped, he's got 3,600 people. And, can you imagine, Doug? I think when he had YouTube, I think he had 100,000. I don't know. So if he's got 10,000 people on Locals that are giving him $5 a month, that's a pretty good chunk.
Jeez.
So.
Yep.
So and at the same time, that NFT, he found that so promising, he decided to let the Locals crowd, he put that, I guess, because you can quit anytime you want to. So, if his Locals subscribers felt like they were being stiffed by it, they could quit him. And he let that go fallow for a while he worked on those NFTs. Is that the right word? Fallow?
The NFT thing. Weird. Yes.
Yeah. Fallow, let it sit for a while without using it.
Farming. When you're rotating crops, you let one go fallow.
Yeah.
You let them. If you have 4 acres, you don't harvest all 4. Not that I'm a farmer.
Yeah, I'm showing my farmer background.
I know what crop harvest. Crop rotation.
Yeah.
I do have, but anyway.
So but just think about that. Don't have envy for that and say, "Oh, I it just eats me alive to think about Doug having all that." No, the way to think about it is like if you had a modest success, where if you had 500 of an audience times $5, goodness sakes, if you could find your little niche where you had 500 people on Locals, you would have a nice little.
The problem is,
what's that?
All your can't be. If all your friends are communists, they won't have.
Yeah, that's right. Stay off Locals if you're a commie. Yeah.
That are capitalists.
No, commies have a lot of money anymore. Mm-hmm. It's a new America.
No, that's the oligarchs.
It's one of
the commies don't have a lot of money. The oligarchs have money. We'll find out when we go to war with them what's going on.
No, supposedly we've already given up on the Ukraine. We've given the concession that that Putin was wanting. He got the concession he wanted.
Of course.
Mass the troops on the border, and plus, our own little corrupt side of that. That is one of the best money laundering. They've got so many gimmicks on how to pass money to people in the Ukraine that it's a nasty little cesspool is what it is.
I wonder how much art are the first son.
Oh yeah, he sold
sold in Ukraine.
He may have sold that all to Ukrainians. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. Nobody knows.
And
I have any pictures of his art. Was he an artist or is this just a scam? I mean, I know it's a scam.
Oh yeah, it's just money. What do you call it? I don't think it's laundering. It would make a good laundering scam, and there's been some more scrutiny on that. That is one way to launder money, is to just say, okay, yeah, give me that painting.
I am convinced that all of laundering, all of art is a money laundering.
There's
scam.
quite a bit of scam to the art world, that's for sure.
Read the $20 million shark or whatever it is about the shark, about the guy that put the shark in formaldehyde. I forget the cat's name.
I never heard of that. I know.
Yeah, the library has. You really should listen to it. It's pretty fascinating because it's all about how modern art works.
Okay, all right. You'll have to send me a more precise link or a more precise title to it, and I'll check it out.
I'll send you. I think it's called the $20
million shark, maybe. Okay, I'll look up it.
Has it on their Overdrive thing.
Cool.
Anyway.
And of course Charles Willeford wrote the Burnt Orange Heresy, which turns into a kind of like a murder mystery, which is kind of fun, of a guy that realizes the value of this one piece of artwork this one guy done, that he's been a fraud all along. And it's a pretty good movie. Like Willeford always does.
What's it called?
It's called the Burnt Orange Heresy. It's pretty unique. It's got Mick Jagger in it as a guy that knows he's surrounded by just complete creeps and always just plays it that way. But at the same time, he's just like, at the heart of the party scene and all that. He knows nobody's better than him. That's what struck me about that character of Corky in The Night Manager. It's like, that guy, he thinks everybody is at least as big a crud as he is. That's why he operates in life.
I think it's how people are that way. They think, everybody's just like them. Excuse me. Anyway,
I get those kind of attacks when my heater comes on. A lot of dust starts circulating.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They used to at work when the heater would come on at first time in winter, it would do that.
Kick up
Smell
all this
horrible. Yeah, whatever they're doing now works better. Of course, I think my department has a brand new furnace in it, so it could help. But get that, it's weird. We don't really mess with the thermostat too much in my department. Unless they're doing it behind my back, which could be.
Babylon Bee, all those, I think everybody that writes jokes for the Babylon Bee is married or something. They've got a lot of thermostat jokes that they've gone through. It always strikes me as funny to think about people, having to live together that are in complete disagreement about whether it's cold or hot.
Oh yeah. Our house usually stays fairly comfortable for the most part.
Well, it'd be nice to be able to localize temperatures really. I remember, it was just last year where people were doing special YouTube videos on how to survive the whole deep freeze that had occurred that was going across the country. I guess it was just last year, we had the awful ice storms that went a lot farther south in Texas than ever go. And of course, Texas had the big grid problems. And so, this December's treating us gentle at the moment, which is great.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of Christmas or winter.
Yeah. Or Christmas.
Yeah, that was probably a Freudian slip, not being a big fan of Christmas.
Probably.
Being a Scrooge about it all, huh? Christmas humbug.
Well, I mean, you're not married, you don't have kids, your family, you don't have any family around, just so.
Yep. Yeah, I've managed to.
But I feel like even when your circumstances were different, you were much of a Christmas guy.
That's pretty good. I like that little domestic, straightforward thing you've done there on that panel on the left. That's really cool. It's looking good. What kind of pencil are you using there to do that with?
Yeah,
she's handing something to somebody.
Well, I was using
Oh, that thing is all yours.
Yeah. She's handing her.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is a lead holder, and then I've been alternating with this. This is a 0.5. I think this is a perfect mechanical pencil to draw comics with. It's called a Pentel Smash.
Pentel Smash. Is it something you throw away?
No. This is a metal. It's metal. It's got kind of a rubber. The grip. I don't know if you can see these little stick out things. They're rubber. It's a nice little grip. It's got a under the cap, and it's got a degree wheel too. You can put what degree.
So you can tell what lead you got in it.
Yeah. But yeah, I got this. I was reading about somebody using these. And I saw one somewhere, so I picked it up. Made in Japan. Japan makes some nice.
Anything that's nice for art.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, yeah. Reading the idea of the Alex Raymond book kind of inspired me to use a thinner pencil, because at one point, I don't know if it was there, I also had read some back issues of Glamour Puss. One of them was talking about using a fine pencil, or a fine line pencil, but getting a fine line. That kind of made me think about using a mechanical pencil. I haven't drawn with a mechanical pencil in a little while. Normally I use a lead holder. But it does give you kind of a uniform weight.
I'm looking at them now.
Which can look like a dead line if you don't.
Yeah, they got
the
Smash pencils. They have a this is a blue one. I guess that's the reason they've got the barrel blue. But I mean, any lead it comes with, you can always change out the lead. So, sky blue.
Yeah, I thought they were all black. Oh, really? Is it a special edition?
It says Pentel Smash Drafting Mechanical Pencil. Special edition silver blue accents. I guess it's the same pencil, though, but this one's only $5.80. The rest of them were about $10.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll go ahead and buy one.
I paid a little bit more than that for mine. Do you like drawing?
Oh, I've got enough office supplies around here. I could find something I like just as well as that pencil there, I'm sure.
Well, what's funny is I bought these at where'd I get them? Somewhere cheap.
I'll share a screen. I've got this open. I might as well share a screen of it. What we're talking about, the Alex Raymond stuff. I will go to the
Oh yeah,
page I'm talking about
I like that pencil version.
where he talks about nightingale strokes. There it is. Okay, I'm going to share this. As soon as I go through my usual boomer thing of figuring out how to do it, I think all I have to do is right click. Nope. No. Share screen.
So tomorrow on our podcast, we're going to talk about we're reading the Inkle. We're going to discuss the first 3 issues.
Go ahead. I didn't mute you, did I? I don't think I did.
Oh no, we're gonna.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. No, I just said tomorrow night on the podcast we're going to discuss the Inkle. Have you ever read any Thomas Pynchon?
Of course, I know that name, but I'm trying to think if I've actually read him. What did he write?
Yeah. What was the movie? He did a movie.
Thomas Pinchot?
The one I'm thinking of is Mason Dixon. I thought it's Pynchon.
Pynchon, maybe. Okay, I'm sharing the screen where it shows how Raymond, because Raymond was a brush user. He was using the Winsor Newton Series 7. I think it says he uses number 2. But it shows, and look at this illustration to illustrate the mechanism, this great little drawing of it, how he would load his brush versus the way other people did, how until he got this square at both ends from dragging it sideways, then he had a point that would maintain its integrity while he did this little small hatching work, which that shows at the end, Nightingale Brushstrokes Unlimited.
Yeah.
And he goes into great detail. And this is the page I stopped on that made me decide, I'm wildly enthusiastic about this book. This is the one I read in depth. And so it's like, okay, I read that. And then I got into the other 340 pages of it and said, I don't know. But no, I mean, to go on a deep dive on Alex Raymond in general is, that's very, very worthy that he's done that. Oh, is that your Winsor Newton? Let me go back to her.
It's a 3 though.
Yeah. I think the general feeling is that number 3 is the workhorse, for doing that sort of work.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 is pretty small, theoretically. I've had this thing for a while. I haven't used it.
I haven't used mine in ages.
Bust it out and do some stuff with it.
I've got them all mothballed in a very caring way, like I was just ready to come out and go to town with them at any moment. But I've actually in recent years thought about maybe I should use them with my oil paints, because that would obviously but it would, completely destroy them, very quickly.
Yeah.
Using turpentine on a nice Winsor Newton brush would be just silly. It'd be blasphemy, actually.
Yeah. Let's see. I wonder if I got any ink.
Oh, you're going to look around. You're going to try that. You're going to try to load the brush up. I should do it too, but I tell you what, the reason I don't have that out is I am just the world's worst. I can guarantee you I will spill and make a mess anytime I bring India ink out anywhere. I just have this bad history with India ink that I should.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Do something remedial.
I thought I got some ink around here.
Well, the best ink is that. What's it called? I'll get up and
Okay.
tell you.
Here's what I'm gonna bust out. Okay. This is my Chinese ultra black, traditional Chinese ultra black ink.
Okay.
I don't know if I've ever used this for anything.
This right here is the bulletproof ink. It's the it's the Repeatograph, the Ultra Draw. The Repeatograph Ultra Draw ink is the best inks. Hey, something sliding off your desk. Something sliding off your desk. There you go.
Got it.
Okay, good.
Caught it. I saw it out of the corner of my eye about the time I said, hang on, that's a sign I need to level out my desk a little.
Yeah, apparently. So I didn't know what that was, but again, me jinxing things, saying, yeah, every time I bring Indie ink out, I make a mess. I can just see Indie ink all over your carpet just because I jinxed you.
Hey, that's what
carpet's for. Yeah,
to catch the ink. Okay.
Yeah,
your place.
I need to do some more things to the place for sure.
Okay. I got
get ready. It's the Boy Scout. Always be prepared.
Here. Oh, I probably should have shook this first.
Right there. I might not get past that point. Shake well. Ah!
Nice, satisfying gurgle when it comes out.
What is that? It looks like it's got weird wells to the side of the top. Oh, what is it? Squeeze? You squeeze it and it comes out? Never mind.
Well, it's kind of got a little fountain.
Interesting. I wish I'd watched you do that. I'll have to replay it to watch it. I was drawing while you were squeezing that little bit out.
Hang on, let me grab some good paper.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, here, this is for ink. So this is my Grumbacher, Grumbacher Ultra drawing I've had since college.
Is it Bristol?
No, it's just kind of heavyweight paper. And I've drawn. Let me find something good because I've drawn part of a comic.
Okay, ink some pencils.
Yeah, that's what I'm
all right.
Let's see. It's not very well drawn.
No, that's cool. That make good inking material right there. But if it's just a regular sketch pad, you're going to find it's probably going to bleed a little bit when you ink.
Oh, here. I'll do this page because I got plenty of blank area on here. I kind of drew little anatomy bits here. I gotta adjust stuff up here. Okay. That's inconceiving.
Well, you're we'll end the show with whatever you do is inking, because we've already been at it an hour. So we're going to watch and see if you can produce Nightingale strokes.
God, no. I don't have Nightingale pencils to do them from.
So you're going to...
So what he was doing, he would do like this, right?
Yeah, he would draw it sideways versus rolling it. You know, your instinct is to roll it to bring it to a point. So he's trying to do that, and very, you know, in a very controlled way. Oh, you think Wim has dropped on board? Yeah, you got it way too charged up. You're going to be ages getting that to where you can handle that. You've got it way too wet.
Hey, now. Still pretty wet. I'm not as good. But that's what
he's doing in terms of like his prep.
It does it.
It does it, huh? Yeah, you're finally getting a squared off edge. What does the point look like at this point? Try to do as fine a line as you can now with your point that you've got.
I don't know if he turns it or if he just...
No, he's just... yeah, there you go. But that's pretty blunt. You gotta have that. You gotta have that tip heavy. You're still too wet. You gotta have that thing way down. And when you re-dab it, oh, look at that. See, now you're getting fine. Yeah, that's better.
Well, I should.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. Nice.
The problem is then you
see you've got a tendency to, and I think I learned the term from you of licking it. You don't want to, you want to touch that line once. Don't go back to it. Yeah, you're doing a pretty good job. And like you say, you don't consider yourself an inker anyway. But no, that's pulling a nice line. Now, see, you already went back for more ink, and that brush was going to give you that line for a long time.
Oh, that's not anywhere near done.
Well, see, that's what I mean. You loaded it up. He didn't do that often. I mean, you've got to get that simpatico with the. It's not an AR.
He wasn't well. He wasn't worried about. I don't think he was worried about losing lines so much, because what I read part of Glamour Puss after reading that.
Uh-huh.
I think there was a section in there I really liked, and I think it was in that Alex Raymond book where it talked about how he was kind of fighting the line, and he had a real Milton Caniff kind of stole some of his thunder when he did Rip Kirby.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's a big part of the storyline in this. Is like the three schools of art, as he calls it. That's another thing that made me think I was really going to be liking it, because I thought he'd skewed talking about that sort of stuff more than he does. It's Hal Foster, Milt Caniff, and Alex Raymond. Those are the three schools of cartoon photorealism, and he just calls Foster photorealism, even though I don't really see that. It's still stylistic. And he puts Jeff Jones in photorealism, and I'm not completely sure that, obviously Jones achieved something that you could call photorealism on a never mind. I'm not going to. I can't really.
I was never a huge Jeff.
You were never what?
a huge
Oh,
Jeff Jones
okay.
fan. But I don't know if I was that familiar with his work. And it's interesting. It's interesting, Ellis. This book just came out, but he refers to Jeff Jones as Jeff Jones and not Catherine
Oh, yeah,
Jones.
that's true. Yeah, yeah.
Did you catch that?
Well, yeah, but he's also
I
using
can promise.
pictures back from the studio days when he would have been Jeff Jones
Jeff
without
Jones.
making a big deal out of it.
Yeah. Right, but a lot of people nowadays would have. And I'm not trying to read too much into Sim.
Oh, you think he's making a
You
point by
know,
not calling
and I
him
don't know
Jake
anything about
Catherine?
his. I don't know. I don't want to put too much onto that. I just.
He does make a
Well, I
point that
guarantee there's people that would catch that. Maybe they're people.
Yeah. Well, Wim, thanks for dropping in. Look, you look like you're doing pretty good with that brush. Pretty good, pretty good.
No, maybe I should put the brush
Well,
more.
just keep it, read up on how to keep it clean and healthy, and I'm sure you already know that. No, that nothing makes you.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried this.
Don't put it away.
I aspired to be a.
Yeah, might.
I bought. There wasn't a lot of books out on drawn comics at the time. I forget which one I got, but But one of the things it talked about was using a Winsor Newton Series 7, and so I ordered. I bought it so long ago that that I didn't want to pay taxes, not taxes, shipping on it. And so it worked.
They're from England, aren't they?
Because buying art supplies. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, but I think I got it from someplace here, an American place online. But yeah, that's say England.
Of course,
the finest.
Of course, you used to be able to get them from Triangle A&E.
Yep.
I remember opening the drawer to them and seeing those great little, brushes.
Oh,
sable brushes.
I probably 30 years ago, and it was $25.
Yeah. They've never been cheap. That's for sure. That's another blasphemy about the idea of using it with oil paints. I'd be running something that cost me a lot of money.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, yeah, and that's the thing is you would run them. If you're just using them and it's like, well, don't use them for oil paints, that'd be one thing.
If I had some masterpiece where it needed some sort of like special detailing. But I did hear I watched a little thing on YouTube today where a guy talks about the main mistakes digital artists make. He had 7 of them, and he started off with saying, never doing actual artwork, traditional artwork. And I'm with him. I don't think I could do digital artwork as well if I hadn't struggled with and thought through the use of things like oil paint, in my background. I think it does make you a better digital artist to put your hands, get dirty with regular conventional media.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm not much of a painter, but I've painted a little bit. And
well, Scott, we have been at it an hour and 9 minutes. It's already longer than I walked with a zombie. You ready to call it quits?
Oh.
Did you have anything you wanted to talk about? We didn't talk about.
Yeah, we can call it. I mentioned that Heaven's Rejects has a contract. Did I mention that on air? Did we?
You did.
Anyway,
that's
I got
cool.
Heaven's Rejects. That's my comic book that I've worked on. If you watch this show, you saw me work on many pages of on the show, and finally got a contract. It hadn't been officially announced, but it's through SourcePoint Press, And I don't know. There's not a release date, but the contract was the first step to the. Well, doing it was the first step, but getting the contract was that. Because once they got a contract, I guess they're kind of obligated. I don't know.
Well,
But
I guess that,
anyway.
that's the reason they've kept from doing it for so long. They wanted to make sure they really wanted to put it out. That does make. I'm happy for you that insecurity about that is over now. So that's cool.
I'm happy
Yeah.
for me too. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can't skip this little step, can you? You got to put that point
Yeah,
back
you got to
on
get the
there.
point
It
back on it.
works
Now
though, man.
you aren't spinning it, are you, or are you? Are you trying to spin it to get a point?
No,
Because
no, no,
that's the experiment is to see if it works like he says it works.
no. I
Okay,
didn't
I'm
spin
going to
it
have to
at
try
all. I
that.
promise.
We'll see how because he's producing cross hatching that is so fine. He talks about how it fills in. He's basically almost sabotaging his own work because he's producing such a fine hatch that is just like zipatone, but it's just lines underneath each other, hatched. That making it that much more complicated, and that just totally fills in
Yep.
and ruins. It shows a very clear example. He's got such great silhouettes on top of that screen tone. And then when it fills in, the silhouette just goes away. It just completely eradicates the great design.
Yeah.
Well, okay, Scott, I guess I didn't talk about the other book I got was Blazing Combat. And I was so blown away. All 4 issues in
Oh yeah.
paperback form of that Blazing Combat from Warren. Golly, that's such good work. I mean, those guys were, I think everybody involved with it was saying, finally getting to do something besides all this goofy EC stuff. I think everybody put their best foot forward on the war story stuff. Guys and again, that book, the Death of Alex Raymond, who's the best exemplar of Alex Raymond that went on later. You'd have to say Al Williamson. Of course, Frazetta, like
Yep.
he briefly mentions that Frazetta could do it. He could pull off an Alex Raymond, but he didn't do that much line
Yeah.
work after that. In terms of like, even though what he did, of course, is highly revered. His inking.
Yeah. He did a few spot illustrations. And
Yeah,
some Burroughs
all
stuff.
that Burroughs stuff he did is highly loved. Everybody knows about it.
I mean, those
Well, for some reason, I'm having a hard time saying bye, Scott.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I got mesmerized watching you ink. Okay, I think we did a pretty good show. We touched on a lot of topics. Okay,
Yeah, it was good.
I'm saying bye at least to our audience.
Okay.
Say bye, Scott.
Okay.
Okay.